Hello, welcome back. This is going to be part 2 of this lesson. The video recording just only lets me get to about 15 minutes with each part, which is a perfect breaking point. So if you want to take a break during this point, that would be great as well. We are actually going to be moving into semicircles for this part. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first example. Okay, when you take a look at this first example, it says find the area of the semicircle orchestra pit. Okay, so when people are setting up things on stage, doing plays, they're usually going to have all their music people down in this orchestra pit. This orchestra pit is your semicircle, okay? So remember, semicircles are going to be half of your actual circle. So when I set up this equation, okay, ultimately my equation is going to be the same. The only difference is I need to divide it by 2. So when I set this up, I take my pi times radius squared, and in this case, I just set it up as a fraction, okay? Because remember, fractions are just dividing by 2. What I did then is, I'm going to use 3.14 for pi, okay? Anytime you are not given any specific directions for pi, use 3.14. To make this a little simpler on myself, I didn't worry about this second part, okay? So dividing by 2. What I did first is find my normal area. Okay, so I just plugged in pi 3.14 and took my radius here. Now look at that, my radius is 15 and I didn't use 30. Okay, 30, again, this is your diameter. Diameter goes across the entire thing. I cannot use diameter in this equation. I need to take the half of it, so that's why I took 30 divided by 2 already. I know that that's 15. I'm squaring the 15 then. Okay. From there, I already had multiplied this all out. Okay, took my 15 squared, or I could take 3.14 times 15 times 15. I got 706.5. My last step then is just to divide it by 2 because a semicircle is half of your circle. So once I divide it by 2, here is my solution. I get 353.25 feet. Again, make sure that your units are squared, okay? Because again, we're talking about area. Your units are always squared, okay? Biggest things to take away from this, again, remember your semicircles are half. Remember to check your measurements. Make sure if you're using radius or diameter. I have to say, even me filling out these and using my work here, a few times I caught myself not listening to the directions even and using this or using a different measurement. So make sure you check, is it a diameter or is it a radius? Okay. So the next part here is another on your own. Okay, these are all semicircles. Notice that your first one, you have a diameter measurement because it's taking the whole part right here. Same with problem number 5, okay, whole entire equation right here. And number 6 then, though, you have a radius because it's only part of it, okay? Everything else has your diameter, okay? So use the 3.14 for pi. Set up your equations for your semicircles. Okay, take a minute to answer these questions and I will come back and I will show you the answers. So go ahead and pause the video, show out your work. Once you are done with that, come back in and you can double check if you got the answers correct or not. All right, you should have gone through your questions and made sure you got your answers. So for number 4, here is my answer. Okay, again, you have a diameter. Your diameter is 8. You need to find the radius, so you're taking that 8 and dividing it by 2 to get 4. From there, use your original formula for area of a circle. I'm plugging in 4 for my radius, multiplying it then again by 4 or squaring it. Okay, squaring my 4 gives me 16. If I'm not given the directions, which I did give you the directions, but again, use that 3.14. Okay. Originally get an answer of 50.24, but this is not an entire circle. This is only half your circle. So then just make sure to divide it by 2. Your final answer is 25.12 meters squared. For this 5th one, okay, same kind of thing applies because you have a diameter. Your diameter is 5. So when you take 5 and divide it, you end up getting a decimal. When you divide by 2, you get 2.5. So again, use that formula, plug it in to the original circle area of a circle, okay? Keep as many decimals as you can. So in this case, when you take 2.5 squared, you get 6.25. Multiply by 3.14. I kept every single decimal. Okay, do not round it unless it says specifically they only round it to the first decimal place. So in this case, I got 19.625 divided by 2 because I'm only having half a circle, a semicircle. You get 9.8125. Again, your units are going to be squared. Okay, let me just move myself here. And then your last one, your semicircle over here, this is the only one where you got a radius, so you don't have to worry about taking and finding the radius. The radius right here is 11. So plugging in, this time I used this formula. Again, it's the same thing, just using every single step at the same time, okay? So plugging in 3.14 for pi, multiplying by 11, making sure to square that 11, and dividing by 2. In this case, I just followed my order of operations, okay? In this case, we have no parentheses, so exponents are going to be first, so I did 121, okay? Then, in this case, it is a little tricky to decide, are you multiplying or dividing first? In this case, I want to multiply this part first, and then I'm going to divide by 2. Ultimately, my answer becomes 189.97 centimeters squared, okay? Questions at all on any of that? Again, let me know if you've got questions. You can email me, Google Classroom, or even put a question here on YouTube would be fun. Okay, so that's actually it. This part was a little shorter than the other ones. What's going to happen here is I know that this is kind of our normal layout and what we usually do. Your workbook, for right now, you can kind of use it as an extra resource. So if you want to do the pages to get a little extra practice, feel free to let me know if you've got questions with it. But I do know that some students don't have their workbooks with them right now. So I'm not going to actually require pages to be done as of currently. This may change depending on when we get back to school, or if we can get back to school, okay? So what I'm looking from you and what your homework is, remember I told you on here that you will be having homework. Make sure to pay attention to big ideas, okay? You have 13.3 on big ideas. You will have the entire week to get it done, okay? Make sure to get it done. I'll be emailing people if I don't see that it is done, okay? As always, let me know if you got questions. Feel free to comment here or comment on Google Classroom, or as well as email me. Otherwise, have a good rest of your day. I'll see you later.